Okay, so now here we'll be seeing the FMC basic setup. Now the FMC basic setup, as you simply start the device, it's going to take around 15 to 30 minutes depending upon the device. So the main thing what here we need to understand here is the basic setup. Okay, so the FMC, as we already know, it is a centralized device from where we can control multiple FTDs. So you can expect the 15 to 30 minute booting time, especially when you're doing the boot up for the first time. And that's what you can see here. So the initial booting process has been done. That's what we have been waiting for. And once it finishes the booting process, you should be able to log in with the default admin, and the default password will be admin123. So you should be able to log in. And once you are done with this, so it is going to prompt the same thing. The prerequisites and all already we know, the images and everything. So you should see the booting process something like this. Some of the screenshots, you will be able to see this process as it goes. And you are expected to see this. That's what we are able to see in our screen. And the next thing, it will immediately prompt for the license, just like the FTD. Okay, so if you're using the older version 6 dot, you don't have this option. So here it will show up once you provide the proper login password, the same output, and then you need to simply press enter to accept the licensing. And once we accept the licensing, then immediate part, it is going to prompt for the password. Now here also we need to set the password. So I'm going to set the password as firepower123. So just, you don't see the characters displayed over there. So in that you need to have one capital, one special character, those kind of conditions you can see there. So I'm setting the password as firepower@123 with F capital. That's what I tried. Hopefully it is the same on both the sides. And the next step, it will simply prompt for doing the initial configurations. So the initial configurations are like the IP addressing and other things. As we get back to our topology, we'll be using this 192.168.15.subnet. And 41 is the IP address of the FTD. 42 I'm using here. In the future, if I add any other devices, I'll add additional IP. So 15.161, I think it is the PC, which I'm using here. Okay. So as of now, you can see it is asking the name. So we'll say that's FMC1, and the IP address is going to be manual. Oh, it takes automatically the IP. It says through DHCP, it is default selected. That's okay. Anyway, it will get the IP, but we'll try to see the options. Okay, so here we'll try to change. Whenever you went wrong, probably you can always get an option where it will ask you or the settings are correct or not. So in my case, I'll say no. So then we'll say FMC1. And here I'm going to do it manual. So we'll try to type it manual, where I'm going to tell the IP address is going to be manual. You can see it takes automatically from the DHCP server earlier, but we'll keep it manual IP, where I'll be using 42 IP. The subnet mask is /24, and the gateway I'll keep it same, 192.168.15.1. DNS, I just leave it blank. This NTP, everything, I'll leave it blank. So just to confirm all these things, we can simply use the same. Yes, these settings are correct. So once I press enter, and if I go to the CLI of my computer, I should be able to ping to my FMC as well once the device setup is done. From my local host, I should be getting a reply from the local computer where I'm trying to ping to my FMC. Okay. Now, once you are able to reach out, which means now your FMC is ready to be able to log in. So the next part is we will be simply getting into the GUI login, where we can go to the CLI and do that. So these are the things. The same thing, you can just follow the same steps, the confirmation, and this is the summary of what we did, the configurations. So now you are ready to proceed to the graphical interface. So there are a few things you can check out in case if your screen is stuck. Most likely the RAM issues of the performance issues from the server. That is one of the main common reason where your booting will generally stops. Okay, so most of the time, the resource limitations, that is the one of the major reason for not coming out. Okay, or corrupt file can be corrupted. That can be one of the issue, the image issue as well. So next thing what we'll do is we'll try to get into the GUI